Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, MeInternally. My name is Naomi, and on this channel we learn about natural hair the natural way, or sometimes we learn about topics that make my day. See what I did there? So, for those of you who have been watching for a while or that are new to my channel, this channel originally started off as a hair page. I just talked about natural hair topics, how to grow your hair, how to retain length, protect your styles, all that good stuff. But as the years went on, I started to realize, wait, I have other interests. I'm not just the Naomi who likes hair. I'm the Naomi that loves to write. I'm the Naomi that is in education or has a passion for education, which we'll talk about sometime soon. I am the Naomi who is trying to grow more in her faith. I am the Naomi who is wanting to travel more, who's a vegetarian, and I'm just so many. And it's not to, I'm saying all these labels, but I say all that to say that I am more than just those things, but those things are also part of my life, but I'm not just one of those things. So I want to kind of just show myself on this channel and make it more real, and that way I could kind of also cater, for lack of better words, to other audiences. I'm someone who, I have so many Instagram pages, it's ridiculous, and I thought about my own page here, and I thought about some point, okay, maybe I should make a page just for writing, maybe I should make a page just for my faith journey, for hair, for travel. And then I thought to myself, why do I have to do that? This is all me, and it could all be on one page. So as I mentioned in my previous video, what's going to happen moving forward, I am going to keep the same slogan, which is where we learn about natural hair the natural way, but I'm also going to add on where or sometimes you learn about topics that make my day. So that my day part is anything, again, ranging from food, traveling, writing, and as I mentioned before, my journey in my faith and just growing with Christ. So yeah, I'm super excited for that. Sorry, I thought my phone was on mute, but yeah, so I'm very excited. And what I'll do too, just so it's more organized, I will also have it in the title which series or part of the playlist this video might be, so that way if you are someone who just came along originally from the very beginning, my hair journey, you will watch my hair videos just based on the title. Or if you're someone who is now starting to follow me because of you're interested in becoming a vegetarian, or you're looking more into seeking some healthy meals, you might also follow along there. If you are someone who wants to write or you're interested in writing, you might also hop on there. Same with Journey with Christ. At some point when I feel led to do so, I provide some testimonies as well. So I'm really just, and I was praying that day that I mentioned it or posted the video. I was like, Jesus, I said, please tell me, what am I supposed to do on this page? And even on my way home from work, I was just asking, I said, how can I bridge this all together? Do I actually have to make a new page? And side note, I do have multiple Instagram pages as well. I did start to private some of them, or private some of them, deactivated for a bit until I figure out how I want to really merge one or two together. I feel as though for a hair page or my poetry page, for example, that I don't mind having two separate pages about, only because I will be mostly posting hair content and then versus writing, so that's different, I will say. But in terms of YouTube, where it's more sometimes more talking, and it could kind of just be however you want it to be. Not saying Instagram is like that, but I like the idea where YouTube is more we could connect more. So I think I prefer that idea of having everything merge, where Instagram is more photo based. I think it's a little bit more structured in that sense, so I just kind of want to have different platforms there. TikTok, I don't think I'm going to upload any writing on there, if I'm being honest. But I don't know, who knows, maybe. But that's probably be later on the line when I make it big, because 2024 is going to be the start where God's just going to, He's already moving. He always was moving, but I'm very, very excited. I can't wait to share one or two things with you all, the way God's just been moving in my life. So I'm super excited for that. But I say all that to say, going back to even my hair care line, the slogan for that is it starts with the root, the beauty within, and the root for me, or the core of my very being, is how God made me, and also all the ideas, desires of my heart, the promises He gave me, and I just want to show that in an authentic, and again, the beauty within, that would just radiate through me, or I hope it does. So that's kind of what I want to do moving forward on this channel. So yeah, so let's get into the video. So as part of one of the first series that I'm introducing is called Earthly Eats. So, and I could tell you all about the title at some point, but I am now a vegetarian. So a little bit of backstory about me is majority of my life I was raised eating like chicken. At some point I had pork, so hot dogs, all that stuff, right? Loved it. You couldn't tell me anything about hot dogs, sausage, ooh, every morning. And then there was the Vienna sausages. Like my mom used to make that I think a lot on the weekends, and I used to love that, especially the spicy one. Ooh, so good. When I was in middle school, we always used to get Domino's until my mom would come home from work, and I would get pineapple with sausage, and it was just so good. I loved it. And my family backstory, my mom's side is from Trinidad, my dad's side is Jamaican. So even said growing up, there was some mixture. They also have vegetarian options within that culture, but you know, mostly grew up on eating chicken. There are fish options as well, against at some point. So I was always eating chicken. I wasn't raised to be vegetarian or pescatarian. So it was around the pandemic. This is, I want to say, June to July 2020, where one day, literally, I just woke up and I thought to myself, I think I'm going to be pescatarian. So random. And around that time, for those of you who have been following some time, around the time I also shaved my hair, because I wanted to just go on this whole natural route. In terms of my hair care practices, I haven't got there yet for skincare. So as you can see, I am wearing makeup. So I haven't gotten there yet. Maybe at some point I will, who knows. But I just felt as though I just had this idea. And then sometimes I do go back and forth. I'm like, okay, is this what God planned in my heart? I don't know. I was just always thinking to my head, okay, this is very interesting. So around that time, I just felt like, okay, this is what I want to do in this area of my life, and I just never looked back. So for me personally, my transition, it didn't have to do with anyone telling me, oh, you know, watch this documentary. I did have one friend at the time. I think she was pescatarian. She was either pescatarian or vegetarian, and I would always admire her. I'm like, wow, I don't know how you're doing it. And, you know, I was never the type to be like, oh, don't you miss chicken? Nothing like that. And again, if you're that person, you know, that's on you. No judgment. But at the same time, I just admire her. I never would have thought that would have been me. So literally one day during the pandemic, I just woke up and I just thought to myself, okay, you know what? I think I'm going to be pescatarian. So I was pescatarian from... I want to say, like, strong, you know, I didn't dabble back in starting December 2020, and I ended that journey June 2023. Oh, wow, I did pretty good. So I was about to be, this would have been year 3. I don't know why I thought I was only, like, 1.5 years in for pescatarian. Wow, like, time flies. But anyway, so... I was pescatarian for a while, and but I would say for that, before I go into tips to becoming a vegetarian, I would say that for pescatarians, anyone who's looking to, you know, wean their way to becoming a vegetarian, I would start off with, don't make any drastic changes, not only because that might shock your body and it could potentially affect your health, but also just for that encouragement level, and just to give yourself some grace, because some people, they might be able to cut off chicken or meat products, cold turkey, but some people, you know, maybe their family or you've grown up with surrounded by a lot of meat products, and whenever you go to a family event, you're hanging out with your friends, that's all that you're surrounded by. So that might be a little bit difficult. And also if you don't have people supporting you, So it really just depends. So I would say to gradually wean your weight off. So you might want to start off with being a pescatarian, or if you want to go straight into becoming a vegetarian, I would say start off 3 times out of the week, or even for your first day, just to see how your body feels. One day, full blown out being a vegetarian. And at some point I can make a whole other video about some of the meals that I'll eat during the day, which is another thing I'm trying to work on too, just to make sure I'm having enough source of vitamins, and that my diet is, I'm having a healthy diet. Because I think some people, what they might forget about, and even myself as a vegetarian, that even though this might be considered healthier, there are still ways in which your diet may not be as healthy, and that person who's still eating chicken or meat, they might be healthier than you, because they're, aside from the topic of protein, which I'll talk about in another video as well, they're just able to, because their plates are more portioned and they're balanced, they might be healthier than you. So keep that in mind as well. So yeah, so after that, I started gradually weaning myself off of meat, and December full blown out. Now, for me to become vegetarian, again, I would always tell myself, okay, you know what? I think at some point I'm going to be a vegetarian. And that one, I used to place kind of a restriction. I used to say, okay, I think in 2 years, I think in 3 years. And sometimes doing that would be one of my tips as to how to transition to becoming a vegetarian. I'll go more in depth about, but I would say try not to put a timestamp on it, because when you don't live up to that expectation, you tend to be a little bit harder on yourself. So again, a lot of the tips I'm be saying, or a reminder, would just be to continue to give yourself grace. So try not to put a timestamp, because you never know, your feelings could change in a couple months, or you might go back, who knows, right? So for me personally, I used to say that, and then I ended up transitioning a lot sooner than I expected, and that was partially because of, at some point I will talk about it on this channel, but I just wanted to eat healthier. And I felt as though I wasn't having enough fruits and vegetables into my diet, and I think that was, for right now, this period of my life, I think that's the best thing that I need for me right now, in terms of just building my immune system and just being healthy. So that's why I transitioned sooner than I expected. And that was also a transition where I felt like I could have done it and I wasn't struggling, because I knew why I wanted to do so, which I'll go back into as well. But anyway, so the first tip I'll say is to build your tolerance. So going back to what I was saying all throughout, I'm sorry if I'm all over the place, but yeah, build your tolerance. So when I say all that to say that if you're someone, again, if you've been eating meat for a certain amount of time, or if you're a pescatarian and you love fish so much, you want to build your tolerance in the sense that, okay, you know what, maybe this day, that'll be that one day out of the week where I don't have any meat products. You take a break. Or you might tell yourself, okay, you know what, 3 days out of the week I'm going to only eat vegetarian meals, and the rest of the day you can treat yourself and have a meal with some type of protein or animal-based protein. So it really just depends on what you want to do. So building your tolerance and not going cold turkey, I think, might be very helpful. Next, I have building your intolerance. So sometimes, again, this is not for everyone, and this is not to say that meat products are gross, because again, I used to eat that up, right? But I would say for some people, again, this was not my story, but some people, the way that they became vegetarian or even vegan is because of what they saw in the media. I remember even before I decided to become vegetarian, even pescatarian, I would always hear people talk about how hot dogs are made. And I'm debating, I may or may not link it in the description, because again, I do want this to not be me shaming anyone who eats meat products, because that's not the case, but just for idea purposes or understanding purposes, again, I used to love hot dogs, right? And it was to the point that I refused to watch a video on as to how hot dogs were made, because I just didn't want to give up hot dogs, right? So sometimes it might also be that too. You want something so badly in your life that you refuse to kind of accept the reality of things just for the sake of keeping that. So when I finally saw that and I just started to eat it after some time, I thought to myself, I was like, you know what? Maybe I could go without that. And even at some point for me, and the idea I think it was a milk, because this is my rule of thumb. I only have milk or plant-based milk in my household, which sounds so weird. So when I'm home, I only buy almond milk and I only drink that. But when I go outside, I kind of have a treat. And if I go to Starbucks, or when you go to restaurants, most of the time when they are preparing desserts, they are using whole milk. And that, in a sense, that's kind of my treat. I don't really, I can't do a better job with Starbucks and Dunkin's as substitute, but I don't always do that, so I haven't made the effort to do so. And again, that's kind of like my treat in a way. So I haven't built my intolerance in that way in terms of approaching the vegan route. Who knows, maybe one day I might transition to being vegan, but right now I think being a vegetarian is the best for me. So I say all that to say is you can build your intolerance in the sense that if there are some research out there that says, okay, this option might be healthier, or this type of meat product, or this type of packaged food, whatever the case, and it doesn't even just have to be with meat products. Some vegan or plant-based options aren't healthy either. So if you build your intolerance in terms of what is not considered good for you, or what you think may not be good for you, that may help you, and that's for any area of your life. Next, I would say consider the potential health benefits. So for example, when you do transition to become vegetarian, the potential benefits that you might experience is lower cholesterol, simply because, especially with the meat products, when you're cooking it with the oil, adding added salt, cayenne pepper, all that extra stuff. Not to say I can't be in vegetarian food, but sometimes for lack of better words, maybe you don't need as much ingredients, if that makes any sense. So I would say that might also lower your blood pressure. And again, this tip I didn't spend too much time on, only because, again, I don't want to be biased, and I want to also acknowledge the fact that there are some people who are vegetarian and they still aren't healthy, and the same way for people who are vegan. And again, healthy is kind of the idea of what is healthy is kind of a sensitive topic as well, so I also want to be mindful of that. But those are some of the health benefits that I did see online, but again, just for that simple fact, I won't spend too much time on that. Next I would say is finding the meals that you like at home and outside. So this also goes into meal prepping and diversifying your palate and finding your favorite cuisines, or whatever cuisines your favorite, find the veggie option. So at home, I know 1 or 2 meals that come like my comfort meal that I love so much as a vegetarian, and that kind of makes me looking forward to eat my meals. When you have meals that you enjoy, and because again, people like meat products for various reasons, but when you have a vegetarian option or a meal that kind of blows your mind away, not that you forget about meat products, but you're just like, wow, this was so good. I remember after a certain picture, okay, so for me, this sounds really bad, but sometimes salads, I'm like, who wants to eat a salad at a restaurant? You want to enjoy your food, yeah, but some people like salads. But there's one salad I had bought from this one place by my house. So my camera died, but hopefully this video is less than 30 minutes, so I'll try and wrap it up. But yeah, finding meals that you enjoy. So there was this I don't know how to explain it, almost like a halal guys type of vibe, and it's somewhere near where I live, and it was so good. Like the chickpeas in the salad with I don't know if they had like radish in there. It was just so well balanced that if I can go to a restaurant and, because some places they only have for vegetarian salads, they're like, oh, okay, Caesar salad, without, of course, the chicken. They have like the little crouton and stuff, and I'm like, I need more. I want something that's balanced, that makes you think, okay, you know what, I love being vegetarian because it's well balanced. And I think when you have diversity on your plate, or things that you enjoy, if you could find your favorite veggie options, it will make it so enjoyable. So again, finding meals that you like at home. So again, there's comfort food. So for me, my family's from Trinidad, there's something called cheese paste. I really like that. So again, I'm speaking from a vegetarian standpoint. This may not be vegan friendly for those of you who are trying to become vegan. But I love that. It's it's super quick to make. I could probably do a video with that. Maybe my mom could come in the video too to show you guys how she does it, because it's really good. And then there might be more advanced meals, you know, that you might have for dinner. And something that I sometimes like to make, I love vegetarian lasagna. Is so good. One of my friends, one day he made it and he put like zucchini, what else did he put, squash. It was so good. I'm like, I don't need meat. And you can even add plant-based meat in there if you do want some type of protein in there that'll make you feel as though, okay, yeah, we're back in the old days. But it's so good when you find something that you love. And when you go outside, so McDonald's, I will say, because that used to be my favorite fast food place. I still go 1 or 2 times, but I can only go for French fries. And I'm talking about more so not the breakfast menu, but after the fact, I could get a shake, but I can't get, you know, a sandwich. Whereas Burger King, I tried their Whopper. That was pretty good. Wendy's, I don't think they have vegan options, so that part kind of is like, oh, you know. But I would say Panera has some really nice vegetarian options. That was the first time where I'm like, wow, I can really get into soups, so I definitely want to try that as I'm, you know, still in the beginning stages of my vegetarian journey. So they have like this broccoli cheddar soup, so good. And of course, when you go to restaurants, most restaurants do have your options. Next, I would say, if you're diversifying your palate, your favorite cuisine. One of my favorite cuisines, aside from you know, Trinidadian and Jamaican cuisine, I love Indian food. And when you find or you think about your favorite cuisine, they have veggie options. And so once you know that you can still enjoy that cuisine and it's just now veggie friendly for you, it also makes it a little bit more easier to transition. So I love paneer tikka masala. That's so good from my family's culture. Roti, I could still eat it, and I could put the caption as to subtitle to roti really is, just in case I'm not missing anything. But with roti, also side note, paneer is I also put a subtitle there just to make sure too. But it's some type of cheese, I believe. But with roti, I could put pumpkin. Pumpkin in a roti is so good. I love that. I think I had spinach roti before. To be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of veggie patties, because I'm not even gonna lie. Jerk chicken patties used to hit, and shrimp patties is undefeated. So that part kind of like stings a little bit. But again, sometimes it's a matter of, okay, you know, and even if you are still eating animal products, at some point, even when you think about some of your favorite meals, if you're still eating like meat-based products, you might be thinking to yourself, oh, well, you know what, I used to like this meal a little bit more when I was a kid. Now that I'm an adult, or if you're still in the same age group, you might be thinking, oh, well, you know, I kind of don't like that as much. Maybe you had it too much, or now you just don't want it anymore. So that kind of is a nice little step or segue into trying something new. So again, and there's so many other great options that I feel as though a lot of people think that your plate is limited, but it's really not. It's actually really exciting to also see how people just transform meals to make it vegetarian friendly. I would also say you could look for alternatives. I could definitely link some down below. So let's say if you're a burger type of person and you feel that you're going to miss that, there's Beyond Burgers, there's Impossible Burgers. I do prefer Beyond a little bit more. I don't really care for veggie burgers that much, I'm not going to lie. It really just depends on where it's made. There's one sausage pack I love. It's so good. And there's this other it almost looks like taco crumbles. It's so good too. I really enjoyed that. So I'll link all that down below. So again, I say all that to say that when you want to transition, to make it easier for yourself, just finding alternatives. Next, I would say, and I have 3 more tips after that, is to eat in portions. I feel as though a lot of people, and even right now I am doing a fruit and vegetable fast without legumes and grains, as well as any carbs. So that I could talk about in a whole different video. And I feel as though some people, why they might end up being hungry, they feel as though they're starving, they don't have any energy, is because when you are eating meat or any sort of meat, so either fish or any poultry product, really, that's what I should have been saying, you think to yourself, okay, because that has so much protein in it already and it's so dense and it's already filling for you, you can afford to kind of just have, okay, maybe I could just enjoy a side of salad on the side, or you could have a little cup of rice, however you want to have it, right? But with veggies and fruits, or just a vegetarian diet, when you don't have a proper portion on your food, on your plate, I think that's when people start to feel as though I'm still hungry afterwards, and then they want to start giving up on their journey. I can even speak for myself today. I decided to have an acai bowl for lunch, and for breakfast, and then I had a little bit more that was left over when I got home from work, and it was so filling. I'm probably gonna snack because it's 6:33 right now and I'm not really hungry, but that filled me up. But sometimes when you don't have the proper portion for a salad, and let's say if you just want to have a salad for lunch and maybe a fruit on the side, if you have a very small container, which I used to do in the beginning, that's when I start to feel as though I'm so hungry. So I think when you go out to eat, if you're someone who struggles with measurements, honestly, like me, you might have a better time. You might feel more full when you go out versus when you're meal prepping at home. But let me tell you something, as a vegetarian, when that meal is properly portioned, the way you feel afterwards is just so amazing. You feel as though it's like a healthy type of full, as opposed to, but again, it also depends, because sometimes if you do have fast food, vegetarian food, then you start to feel tired. So it really just depends. My third to last tip is to find a community of people around you who are either already vegetarian or they want to become vegetarian, or find someone you like to watch online. So for me, around that time, I did have that one friend she's no longer a vegetarian, at least I don't think so, but my other friend, she's pescatarian. I think she is trying to transition, and then I have another friend who's actually vegan right now, so it's a really cool balance. And my other friend, I think she experiments here and there. So again, it's nice when you have a little community. Sometimes also it's nice when you go out to eat with those friends, because it makes finding the food places a little bit easier. I'm someone that I don't really care where we go as long as I do have that option, but I'm not picky with my food. I'll always find something, but it does make it easier for both parties, I would say. And then finding someone you like to watch. So on YouTube, I know I think her name is a Sweet Pea Vegan. Some people like Tabitha Brown, even though she's vegan. The other lady's vegan too. But even if you can't think of main channels, because I don't really watch anyone particular, kind of just search up videos. Sometimes your favorite people to watch, they do have vegetarian options for you, and it's just a matter of you doing that search. I know Tasty on Instagram, I think they have a vegetarian channel, so that might be helpful as well. So it's just a matter of looking and figuring out what you like and who do you like. Next, second to last tip is know your why. This is so important with any area of your life, because when you know the reason as to why you're doing something, it, one, makes it easier for you to stick to it, and then two, no one else could convince you otherwise. And I say all that to say that when I first transitioned to becoming pescatarian, even when I became vegetarian, I didn't fall back in the sense, or I didn't struggle as much, because I knew my reason why. It wasn't because someone convinced me to transition, because for some people that might work, but again, you might struggle somewhere in between, because part of it might be because you might be doing it for other person, or even though they might have told you, it's still maybe not in the way you would have wanted to. And when you make the decision yourself to transition, it's a whole other experience, because it's something that, again, you wanted to do, you were excited about it, and now it's just a matter of following through. So I would say know your why, know why you want to become vegetarian, know what you think might be the benefits, know that you like certain foods, and it would just make your experience so much easier. And the final and the very last tip is and I think this is the most important tip, be patient with yourself. It is going to take some time. Again, kudos to you if you're someone who you went cold turkey, but at the same time, even if that's not you, maybe it took you a year to finally transition, maybe it took you a couple weeks, however long it takes you, be patient with yourself. This is not, I don't want to say it's the biggest decision of your life. For some people it might be, but at the same time, you're changing a part of your life, you're changing your routine, you're changing your lifestyle, and some people might be doing this on their own, some people may not know where to start. So again, give yourself grace to know, okay, you know what, this is what I want to do, I don't know how, sometimes I might slip up, I might want to go back at some point, whatever it is, just be gracious towards yourself, because at the end of the day, your body, you're very connected to your body, your mind, soul, your every being, and you want to make sure that you're treating your one body nice, and you want to treat yourself nice as well. So be kind to your mind, and everything else will follow through. So yeah, those are all my tips for those of you who would like to transition into becoming a vegetarian. I hope this video was helpful. For those of you that are already vegetarian, leave your comments down below to give any advice to anyone who might be transitioning. How did your transition go? How long have you been vegetarian for? And all that good stuff. So yeah, thank you so much for watching my YouTube video, and I hope to see you all next time. Bye.